Hello, what is up, everyone? Welcome in to the OnlyBets Sports Podcast alongside SternBets. DrewDelucci, I am he, Prince of Picks. Happy Friday to everyone out there. Hope you guys are having a great Friday morning. We are ready for the weekend here, as we've got a lot of matches taking place over the sports landscape, of course, today and over the weekend. NBA playoffs in action tonight, NHL as well, MLB. We've got a lot of soccer action taking place, most specifically over the weekend. A few matches taking place today as well that we will be covering. So great weekend here ahead of us for sports betting, and just sports entertainment in general. So happy to get into it and ready to go here. Before we do that, if you guys can do us a quick favor, head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is that you listen to us. Give us a real quick rate, review, subscribe. Does wonders in helping this channel grow and get it out to more potential listeners. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to my co-host, my friend, Mr. SternBets. Moshe, good morning. Happy Friday. What's going on, brother?
Real happy Friday. I'm coming off back-to-back MLB sweeps. Couldn't be more excited to get into the weekend. I really got nervous yesterday. You know what? It's like looking for a best bet after a sweep and then getting another sweep and then just being like, oh, Bray, all right, I got to slow down, not make sure that I don't take things too fast.
It's hard to it's easy to get carried away, right?
So I'm slowing it down preemptively, not trying to get too involved. Just going to pick my one good spot and move on and try to keep this streak going. 5 in a row. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Also in the NHL last night, Carolina Hurricanes. I mean, that was barely a sweat. I'm really happy that came through. And unfortunately, the Knicks Hawks, they lost on the hook. I think the game went to 217. We had the 216 and a half. So, could be better. Looking for a better day.
Yeah, for sure. And for me, we had a bounce back. Usually that's what happens, right? We've talked about it before. When you have a rough day, usually the next day is a better day, and that's exactly what happened for me. So we hit on our Icelandic parlay. The two teams, I don't want to pronounce their names again because I keep butchering it, but you guys know what it is. If you listened yesterday, we had a 2-pick parlay in the Iceland League, over 2.5 for both games that hit. Then we also hit on the Colorado Avalanche 60-minute money line in the NHL playoffs. That hit as well. We almost hit on our NBA parlay, but the Cavs, unfortunately, they kind of choked it away in the fourth quarter. That made us miss on our 2-leg parlay for the NBA, but that's all right. 2-1, we'll take it. And Adolis Garcia, he hit. He went yard. So we hit that as well. So if you want to count that as a bonus play, we went 3-1 all together. So I'll take it, and we'll move on to today. And I'm interested and eager to get into the slate today. So.
Yeah, and don't discount Drew. He went 2-0. Michael Soroka and Ryan Feltner under on their outs. So very good day for the crew. I am working on a product. I'm trying to see if AI can do it for us, where it can go and look through all of our plays and see how we did. Because I'm tracking mine personally, but it's really hard to track everybody's officially. So
Yeah, for sure. That would be awesome. Yeah, if we were able to do that, it'd be really cool.
Oh, Drew, we just finished talking about Michael Soroka and Ryan Feltner's outs going under. Prince had a really good day. I had a really good day. Good day for the crew in general. How you doing, brother?
Oh yeah, I'm doing good. For sure. Great sports to watch yesterday. Yeah, that was a good definitely hits overall. The Ryan Feltner one was interesting. Like after 2 innings, he just couldn't continue more, and he just he got taken out of the game. I think at like 40-something pitches, whatever. He might have tweaked something. We're seeing a lot of that. I promise it's not because I'm betting their unders and I'm jinxing them. So I don't wish injury upon of anybody. So I hope he's okay. But the Soroka one, it's kind of like we predicted in a way. Stern is. I know you were saying I expect a low scoring game, but like high pitch counts, and they got Soroka to like 100 plus like pitches through 5, and Soroka wasn't doing like absolutely terrible either because the game was like a 4-1 game at the end of the day, and Soroka only gave up like 1 run, but the White Sox did work him to like 100 pitches, so it was just one of those where they're working counts.
Yeah, and that's important to follow. I'm working on my data sheets. I just sent it to our group here. If you're interested in looking at what I'm using to help me make picks, I'm happy to share that information. Also, just subscribe to my Substack because I do post a lot of content over there. Yeah, looking at those high pitch counts, people who can work the count, teams that take a lot of walks, low strikeouts, they're going to be brutal for these outs, even though they're popular pitchers or whatnot. By the way, did you guys see that inside the park home run in the Pirates
Yeah, I watched it
Rangers
live.
game in the
I,
bottom of the third? I was like sweat free. Like, granted, Bubba had a little bit of trouble, bases loaded in the first inning, but then he had like literally no trouble after that. He struck his way out of trouble. And I was like, oh, sweat free. I'm gonna start typing something on Twitter. And then the second that I did that, man gets on base, ball goes flying. I'm like, all right, that's it. I can't
Corey
write
Seager.
anything right now because I know it's gonna fail.
Yeah, Corey Seager just smoked that ball.
Yeah. All right, let's get into today. Prince, I'm gonna hand it back to you. Where do you want to focus on first?
Yeah, so why don't you guys go ahead and kick us off in baseball? I got a few notes here I'm finishing up, so I'll listen to you guys while I finish these notes.
All right, cool. I'm excited to get into it. I have, like I mentioned before, just really one play on the day. I do think that both of you will like it though, because we're back on Happy Paul Skeens Day. That's right. Milwaukee versus Pittsburgh. This is a fun little rivalry, not very well-known rivalry, but I was in Milwaukee for a little bit, and they do have a little bit of angst against each other. But again, it's Paul Skeens here. Brewers no run first innings already coming in 75% of the time on at home. So the other side of the equation that I'm a little bit worried about is Brandon Woodruff, who's done fantastic against the Pirates, who somehow rank in the top of the league in scoring in the first inning. They're averaging on the road a yes run first inning, no run first inning 50% of the time. So I don't mind the Pirates first inning money line at -135 or the first three under 2.5 at -160. But when I'm taking a holistic view of both of these pitchers, I really do expect good things. Woodruff for the Brewers, like, granted, he might not have that incredible strikeout rate, but it's okay. It's at 21.3%. He's clearly in control of his pitches with a 4.3% walk rate. Opponents barrel rates 7%, hard hit rate 31.9%. So a lot of good things all over in his underlying metrics. And again, like, the Pirates don't really necessarily scare me that crazy. I think the first inning runs will probably negatively regress sooner or later. So I'm willing to take a chance at fading them. And then again, Paul Skeens is Paul Skeens. He gave up a run last time out. I don't think he's going to do it again. That's pretty much as simple as it gets. This man is a beast, and I expect him to bounce back positively. Drew, how do you feel about this play? No run first inning, Pirates Brewers -140.
Yeah, so the Brewers yesterday, I will say, did an interesting thing where they had Scooble go in the seventh inning and he was dominating, and then they just played small ball and wrecked him. There's something about the Brewers; they have a knack for trying to bring up Skeen's pitch count, but they don't get to him until like probably the fourth inning, as racking up his pitch count wise. And Woodruff is very hit to contact kind of pitcher. You don't see much strikeouts, but you don't see much walks out of him because he likes to pitch in the strike zone a lot. So the only thing I would worry about is probably Cruz in this case. But if I had to lean, definitely Noren's first inning.
Yeah, I mean, what you're essentially looking for is not a soft, like, once in a while Skeens in the first inning will have just a ball that's slightly off or just left over the plate. But because it happened last time, I really don't think it's going to happen 2 days in a row. He's just
And the
too good
Brewers
for
don't
that.
hit home runs much. They usually do like small ball. So you need to hope that there's going
Multiple
to,
hits.
there's not multiple hits or like a stolen base, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my play to keep the streak alive, and I only have to go 1-0 to get a clean sweep in the MLB today, so that's what I'm hoping for. I do have a number of leans though, so let's get into your plays. Drew, where are you going?
Yeah, so perfect. I am actually going to do, I know it didn't work out the last time, but one of my plays, I am going to do a combo and player outs because I think both are like -180, I believe. First, we'll go to the Rockies at Mets. Michael Lorenzen has not really looked good this year at all. Personally, we thought hey, in the WC, he looked really good. And then he's just completely been terrible. He's facing a Mets team. Hey, ever since they got Soto back, they're undefeated in a way. Yesterday was kind of a scare when they're up by a lot.
Oh
And
wait,
they
hold
were
on. You just said
Yeah.
undefeated, like they're on some magical mystery streak. They
Hey,
are They are 2 wins out of their last 15 games. All right.
Hey, they've won 2 in a row. I'll take a winning streak after they lost 12 straight. So
That's fair. I just want
yeah,
to point out that it was a
yeah.
very long losing streak before that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm saying like their offense has woke up since Soto come back, and I know
It makes a difference. It
it
really
makes a
does make a
difference
difference.
because you get those long at bats, you get the aura of him, and you know at the number 2 spot you're not going to get a guy that really strikes out. He's going to grind that bat out, make hard contact, or walk. And you can see Lindor got hot. And his problem is Lindor got hurt, but they brought in Ronnie Mauricio, who I am a fan of. He's a switch hitting. It's funny they switch a switch hitter with a switch hitter, but we saw Brett Beatty hit a 3-run homer yesterday. So I just trust this. Mets team to knock Michael Lorenzen out early. We saw what they did to Joe Ryan yesterday. Joe Ryan got destroyed and he was doing really well. So my first part of my 2-man is Michael Lorenzen under 15.5 and minus 170. Let me know what you think of that before I go to my second one I'm going to add to that.
So I think you're on the wrong end of the price here. I'm seeing minus 130 actually for the same price line on MGM.
Oh, you're seeing minus 130?
Yeah, would you take that as an individual player? Or
Yeah,
would you still
yeah.
parlay it?
Yeah, I would do it on BetMGM. That's crazy. On BetMGM, it's minus 130. Yeah, and
Yeah, shout out to Pickett or Juice
right.
Reel. Either one will work. I'm not paid. We're not paid by anybody. We would like to be, but we're not. And yeah, you got to get Pickett, Pikkit. It allows you to install all of your sports books and allows you to track your wins, losses, and all that. But it also allows you to look into games and find the best price across all the sports books. Now, I will say Pickett wants you to pay for premium for same game parlays to see the price. Just go to Juice Reel. It's a little bit more complicated to figure out where the plays are, but it allows you to find same game parlays and find the best price. Anyway, sorry, a plug for 2 companies that we don't get paid for. Go on, sorry.
Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah, I would play it eventually get a minus 130. So 135. So I'll add that as like the play. The other one I would have added was I'm curious, what does it show for Andrew Painter under 15.5 outs for MGM or the other ones? Because I saw in DK it's pretty low.
I'm seeing minus 170 on the
Okay, that
under
sounds
15
accurate.
and a half at ESPN.
Yeah, so I was gonna add Andrew Painter under with that, but I guess we don't have to do that if because you can do it on MGM for it. But I'll say my take for Andrew Painter. We saw him face the Phillies, not the Phillies, the Braves on Sunday Night Baseball, and he only lasted like 4 innings against the Braves. The Phillies starting pitching has been absolutely atrocious. They haven't really made it to the 6th inning at all. We saw Christopher Sanchez get roughed up recently. Saw it with Aaron Nola. We saw it with Jesus Luzardo. And Painter started off well, but the Braves' offense just has been amazing, especially at home. So that was the other one I would add. But you know what? We'll just count that. We'll just do the
No, just
Michael
play it. I
Lorenzen.
just played
Oh,
it.
play it.
I
You
played the
played it.
minus
Okay.
170. I think I trust it and I like
Okay.
it. I was looking for a way to fade Philadelphia today without actually fading Philadelphia today, and I think that's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah, because if you look at the last start he faced against them, he only gave up like 3 runs, but they worked his pitch count extremely high. He only had 4 strikeouts. They're hitting him pretty well. He had about 5 hits. He was getting into kind of like really deep counts. And it's just Andrew Painter's a very young, good prospect. I think he'll be very good. But when you're facing a hot Braves offense, especially at their home, the main issue with the Braves, what they can do is they don't really like to strike out a lot and they like to put the ball in play. There's only a certain amount of players in their lineup that will work deep counts, such as like Michael Harris will work deep counts, Matt Olson will work deep counts, and such. So the issue with this can run into is they hit the ball and then just go straight to fields. But the Andrew Painter doesn't really have a high ground ball rate at all, which would concern me for the Phillies.
Yeah, and like you said, Braves team, we've been betting on them a lot lately, and we've been cashing with them. So a little bit scared for Phillies, although their bats have seemed to woken up. So I didn't want to pick a side, but I think this is a really smart way to play it.
Yeah.
Where else are we going now?
Yeah. My next one I'm going to, in this case, I know the Astros. They have been absolutely, they just been their offense hasn't been like clicking as much as we would want them to click. I know the Astros have clicked recently on the road as well too, but their pitching has been like terrible. So this is where I'm going to back up just the Astros offense, and I don't want to trust them to win because their pitching has been absolutely terrible. We saw against the Guardians, though, they were able to, against a good pitching staff, score 9 runs, then 5 runs, then only 2 runs. And then even they lost 3 in a row to the Cardinals, scoring 4, 5, and 5. But when they're at home, they generally do pretty well on offense, and they're really good at getting starting pitchers out of the game. So this is where I'm going to fade a Yankees pitcher. I don't like fading at their home usually. Will Warren. He's usually really good at home, but on the road, he has historically in his career has struggled to go deep in games. So I like Will Warren on a 15.5 outs at -130.
I don't mind the play. I hope you lose.
Yeah. And another reason I'll say this too is one of the reasons I'm playing this, Stern, and this is to credit your team, is the Yankees just had back-to-back pitchers to pitch 8 innings, so the bullpen is extremely fresh. So I'm assuming they won't mind to have them only pitch 5 innings when their bullpen has only pitched like 2 total innings of work the last 2 games.
Yeah, no, that's I think I mean I'm playing it obviously because you're playing it, but I think this is a really smart play. Will Warren is one of those players who gets a little bit weaker as soon as he passes the second time around the order. So with the Yankees bullpen rested, I think this is an excellent value play. I kind of hope you lose because I want to see Will Warren do well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And I think something I noticed about Will Warren, his metrics like at home is much better home versus away. Like we saw as like kind of away starts this year, it's been iffy. But you want Will Warren to do better at home at the end of the day, especially while Garrett Cole and Rodon are hurt because he's probably gonna have more home starts than away starts. So,
oh, the difference between his home and away starts are just dramatic. It really is.
oh yeah,
It's
definitely.
it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I'm with you. I think Houston bats also have to wake up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes sooner than later, especially in a rivalry like this. You know, this is the type of rivalry that kind of gets you going. You know, how many times have these guys faced each other in the playoffs? It's really kind of nuts.
Oh yeah, the issue I've been having with Houston is like the pitching in general because their bats have been
Yeah.
like really good. It's just their pitching has like you shouldn't be scoring 6 runs and losing games. It's just like yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the only other play I was possibly looking at, I was double checking it here real quick. I was going to do something with Kirby if he was at 18.5 outs, but I don't see him 18.5 outs. And if he does, it'll be like super juiced. I feel like Vegas is I think Vegas is overcorrecting these Mariners starting pitchers. They're really good. They have one of the best starting 5, if not the best starting 5 rotation you can make an argument for. It's just the problem is I think they're just because they have like one start where they reach the 7th inning, they're going to do that. So right now it's a 17.5 I see. And even if it's at 18.5, I wouldn't do it unless it's like -160. But besides that though, I am looking forward to the slate. Those are just my main 2 plays I personally have. The other ones I was looking at was like Brian Bayo, Taj Bradley, but the lines aren't where I necessarily would want them to be.
Yeah, I'm really sad. I mean, we won yesterday, so I'm not complaining with our +178 parlay with the Dodgers and Yankees, but I really wanted to see the Yankees tee off against Brandon Bayo. And this is going to go into my home run pick in just a moment, but I really do like fading Bayo. He does not look like the same pitcher yet. I do like his long-term outlook, but I don't know where he is right now that who he's going to be able to face, especially on the road. I want to get your thoughts here on Detroit versus Cincinnati.
Yeah.
We have Framber Valdez on the mound facing Andrew Abbott, but Andrew Abbott has not looked like himself lately. What's the deal with him?
Yeah, so of course we know how well he did last year, and he kind of tailed off at the end of the day last year. He's like one of those pitchers where he's very pitch to contact. You won't see much strikeouts, but you also won't see much walks. He's leaving too much stuff over the plate. His command is not like we used to be because he was one of those pitchers where he could paint wherever he wants to paint, and he's been getting hard hit more than usual because he always been a fly ball pitcher. and a pitcher that will give up home runs, but he also does produce weak contact fly balls. But this year that has kind of changed. I've noticed with him, usually when he reaches like the fourth inning or so, he just completely gets figured out like second and third time around the order. It used to be he would go 6 or 7 innings and he would only give up like 1 or 2 runs. So it's just been interesting to see at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's kind of actually what happens to pitchers. I know this is not a stat that most people are familiar with, but extension is really important. Extension is how far or how close to the plate the pitcher is before he releases. And the closer the pitcher is to the plate, the harder it is to see the ball because there's less time for between when the ball releases to when you can hit it. And I think he was working on that last year because I see his extension numbers actually improving, but it has come to a detriment to all of his pitches. So I don't know if he's working out an arm angle or what, but something is clearly flawed in how he's pitching. Heavily lean Detroit first 5 over there in Cincinnati. But again, I just want to stay safe and try to take a Paul Skeens day and get in and get out.
Yeah, I would say safe because I would say like Framber, he had that like just that one bad start. I'm a big fan of. I've always been a big fan of Framber, and I think the one really bad start he had, of course, was against the Twins, who have been destroying lefties. But it's interesting. We have 2 lefties here at the end of the day, and they're playing in a favorable hitting ballpark. But Framber, the way he pitches, he doesn't give up most home runs, and the Reds produce a lot of their runs off the home run, and that's usually not a recipe for success at the end of the day when you're facing a single ball pitcher like Framber, who is it's not easy to lift his baseballs, and he gets a lot of ground ball rates. Like at the end of the day, the way that you beat Framber is you try to lift his sinker and you try to make him make a mistake play, and you work his pitch count, because if you don't work his pitch count, he's going to go deep into games and he's going to get more comfortable. You have to attack him early and try not to swing at the first or second pitch each time.
Yeah, and Framber's strikeout rate hasn't really been his swing and miss stuff, his whiff, everything is not where it was last year. So I'm curious to see where it goes on from there. But he is inducing weak contact. But like you said, you gotta play smart against him. There's one more game that I wanted to get to. This was my last real big lean that I had. I do have a few more. Like I could definitely see a play on Texas today. Seattle, like you kind of mentioned, but Nationals, White Sox. The White Sox have been hitting. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised the way that they've been hitting. To be fair, Diamondbacks always had questionable pitching, so maybe that's just a feature of them. But they're facing the Nationals now, who are not any better, right? We've talked about the Nationals pitching staff; they're pretty terrible, and it's Miles Mikolas Day. They are starting Brian Hudson, who I don't really understand or know yet. Haven't really gotten time to dive into his metrics, but on the surface, mixed. Looks like he has some good stuff, a little bit of control problems, inducing weak contact. But when batters do hit him, they tend to get hits off him. Multi base hits, I should say. But I like the over here. Couldn't get to the 9.5. That's a really big number. Yeah, Prince, do you have a thought on this game?
Yeah, so I'm looking on DraftKings. It shows PJ Pullen as the starting pitcher today for the Nationals.
Yeah, he's a bulk. So basically, they're going to pitch him for 1 inning, and they've been doing this. Miles Mikolas, and he's been pitching better this way. They're going to pitch PJ for 1 inning, and then they bring Mikolas in for 4 innings.
Okay, got it. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. By the way, PJ Pollen, his underlying metrics aren't scary either, in any which way, shape, or form. Opponents are having a 57.5% hard hit rate against him, 398 weighted on base percentage. This guy is not the end all be all. His strikeout rate is at 14.3, and his walk rate is at 14.3. If that doesn't scream control problems, I don't know what does. Maybe they're just trying to get him in for an inning, like Drew mentioned, to see, hey, get him in for as long as you can until he starts to show the slightest little bit of control issues, and then take him out. But I do see Miles Mikolas being the long start today, and yeah, it's Miles Mikolas Day. I just couldn't pull the trigger yet, but I'm very interested to see how this game goes. And honestly, if we get an under in the first 1, 2, or 3 innings, and I see an over 6, 7, or 8.5, I have to pull the trigger in that game. I trust neither bullpen at all. I don't trust either pitching staffs really, and both hitting staffs are pretty hot. James Wood hit another homer yesterday. He has a 30.2% barrel rate to a 65.1% hard hit rate. And then of course we've talked about Munetaka Murakami. No slouch himself, 24.5% barrel rate, 64.2 hard hit rate. A lot of good things going on for both teams offensively. Neither team has a lot going on their pitching staff. Anyway, sorry. Let's do home run plays of the day, unless you have anything else you want to get to in the baseball slate.
Oh yeah, I'll just say this real quick. One of the reasons why they like to do this for struggling pitchers usually. Mikolas did this against the Giants, and before that, and he did a little better. One of the main reasons they want to do this is because they do it so that, for example, Mikolas doesn't have to see the 1 through 3 or 1 through 5 the first time around, and then like for example, you skip past like Murakami or something like that. We saw it with the Giants series where he doesn't have to see like Devers the first time around, or Damas, Chapman and stuff. So they're doing this to set it up that way, and they haven't pitched until the 5th inning, and then they bring in their relievers the rest of the way. So yeah, I just want to say that real quick.
It really is such a smart analytical way to play it. It is fascinating to me how they figure these things out. And yeah, anyway, Drew, you want to go first on your home run pick today?
Oh, one of you guys can go first. I'm still looking at some numbers.
Yeah, so I actually have, hold on one sec. I have one baseball play that we'll get into real quick before we do our home run sprinkles, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, let's go for it. I'm excited.
I've been sitting on the sidelines here, but yeah, here. So I got just one play for you guys today. We're looking at a team total play, something I like to do in the majors. I'm looking at the Yankees, Braves, and White Sox specifically. Team total over 2.5. If you parlay those three, you get it at minus 103. You guys mentioned it already about the Nationals here. They're an auto fade, especially with the Mikolas. Is eventually going to be on the mound, and that means runs for the opponent team typically. So, like you said, the White Sox have been hitting better as of recently. So, I think them getting over 2.5 is a realistic possibility here against the Nationals. Really bad bullpen. And then, of course, the Yankees taking on the Astros. Astros dead last in ERA for their pitching staff, allowing the highest ERA. So I will absolutely fade them with the Yankees hitting percentage here. And then, of course, my final leg of this parlay is the Atlanta Braves. Team total over 2.5, taking on the Phillies. Phillies ranked 28th right now in ERA. So, again, these are like the bottom 3 pitching staffs in the league going against 3 hot hitting teams right now. And I think we have a really good chance of all 3 of these teams hitting 3+ runs. So, Yankees, Braves, White Sox, all those teams total over 2.5 at minus 103.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I'll be playing it and looking forward to seeing how that goes. I think each team's individual team total is probably also a decent look. I really like this look, man.
Awesome, cool. And then I'll just go ahead and start us off in our home run sprinkles since we're ready to go here. So for me, guys, I'm going back to the well. Give me Munetaka Murakami. He's on fire right now. Plus 286. Again, taking on the Nationals. And whenever you go up against the Nationals, you have a great chance to hit a home run. So he's been on fire. I'm going to ride the wave here. Munetaka Murakami of the White Sox, plus 286.
Yeah, we've talked about it already. This guy is an absolute animal. His star is shining bright over there in Chicago. I'm gonna go with Kobe.
At least we have one star shining bright. Go ahead.
It's all right. You'll get there soon.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah.
By the way, just if it doesn't really help, but I do like the Dodgers against your Cubs today too. Sorry,
Thanks.
just had to throw that in.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
I'm going to take a plus 900 sprinkle here. Kobe Mayo, he has hit 2 home runs in a row. I found the number at plus 900, which is unacceptable considering where he's at in his hitting profile. He started out the season incredibly cold, but the last few days have really shown a different metrics to a point where he went from extremely below average to just below average in just less than a week. So his hitting profile is improving dramatically. I like the direction that he's going in. He is a good home run ballpark in Baltimore. He's facing somebody who we've kind of just talked about. Bayo is not himself lately. He's giving up way too much contact, way too much hard hit rates. This is not someone that I would feel comfortable backing from a game. Something that's just mechanically wrong with him. He has a 33.3% whiff rate, but a 14.1% strikeout rate. So he has some things that he needs to figure out. A lot of good pieces. I like his outlook for the year and his career in general. We've seen really good stuff, but an 11.9% barrel rate is not going to do it. And if Kobe Mayo is going to be underestimated, I think I like him to hit 3 home runs in a row. I think that's a really fun bet to make. Anyway, plus 900, I'm in for a quarter unit. Drew, where are you going?
I'm going to go the Twins here. I'm going to go with Mr. Buxton for plus 360. They're facing Drew Rasmussen. So Buxton has faced Rasmussen. He has had only 5 at bats against him. He's 3 for 5. What are the 3 hits against him? They're all 3 home runs. So if I get someone at plus 360, a guy who has massive power and has been struggling lately, and he's 3 for 5 for 3 home runs against a pitcher in a pretty favorable hitting ballpark at the Rays stadium, which is a dome, to where no matter what, humidity will seek in there, and and if you pull there, it's going to hit pretty well. And yeah, so give me that. That's some great value for someone who has those kind of numbers against a pitcher.
Yeah, that's fun. The Twins offense has really been surprising to me, and I think a lot of people. They're hitting really well. They have 3 people who are hitting 48% hard hit rate or more. They have 4 people hitting around 15% or more in barrel rate. This team is just not what we expected, and Buxton's definitely on the top of that list. All right, let's move on to NHL or basketball. Prince, you have a preference?
Let's go to NHL.
All right, let's go to NHL. I hit the Carolina play yesterday. That was nice. Self pat on the back. Today, new day, and we're going to attack it fresh, we should say. Let me find my notes here. Yeah. All right. I got a same game parlay here. All right, because I didn't necessarily feel so comfortable on any individual play, but we're getting the Oilers and Ducks over 5.5, parlayed with the Ducks plus 2.5. Now the series is tied 1-1. Ducks actually won by 2 goals or 2 goals last game. And they're going into Anaheim. I don't really understand why we're getting such a nice line on this. We've talked about the Oilers all season. They're over machines. They have incredible offensive capabilities, but they also have incredible weaknesses in their defense. Both teams are allowing a lot of top 5 in high dangerous shot opportunities for opponents. The first game ended in 7 goals. The second game ended in 10 goals. I think the public is just severely overvaluing the more famous team here. I like the Ducks to keep it close, if not win outright. Edmonton's penalty kill is compromised by injury. Home dogs are traditionally a fantastic bet anyway. And if the Ducks are going to do well, it's going to be because they outscored Edmonton, not because they shut them down defensively, more likely than not. So getting minus 133 on the game over 5.5 and Ducks plus 2.5, I thought was incredible value. Half a unit play for me. Either of you guys have a thought on this game?
Yeah, I absolutely love anything over. I know right now I like your lay that you did with there because I think it's over 6.5 minus 160. I would personally even take that juice too. It's not going to be necessarily official play for me, but I'm just going to tell what you did. But if you look at their last, they played 5 games this year, right? So 7-4, 6-5. 4-2 is the only one that finished under, and then of course 4-3 and 6-4. So I get what the public's trying to do and Vegas trying to do, think regression, but this team's not going to show regression. They've literally not just had games that covered this; they've had 3 out of the 5 games they played this year go 10 or more goals. So yeah,
This is playoffs. What?
playoffs. It's playoffs, and they've combined to score for 17 goals the first 2 games.
Yeah, unbelievable. I'm very excited. I honestly put on hockey last night instead of basketball. To be fair, basketball was a little bit boring yesterday. We'll get to that in just a minute, Prince. But yeah, I do like this. Do either of you have a play in the NHL over these 3 games?
Drew, you want to go first? I do have a play, but you can go first, Drew, if you have one.
I don't have a play in the NHL. I'm probably just going to tell your guys's.
Okay, cool. So for me, Stern, I'm kind of along the same lines as you with this Ducks Oilers game. I mean, how can you not be right? This series has been just awesome for the neutral fan and just tons of goals. But the way I'm going to attack this one, I'm going to take the Ducks team total over 2.5. This has already hit in the first 2 games. With Anaheim at home here, I can't see why they shouldn't be able to score 3 goals in this one. I'm going to parlay that with the Tampa Bay Lightning team total over 1.5 goals. They scored 3 goals already in their first 2 games against Montreal. Montreal, middle of the road defensively, so I think just getting 2 goals from the Lightning should be something that the Lightning should be able to do. They're top 5 in goals scored this season, so give me the Ducks team total over 2.5. With the Lightning team total just over 1.5, that probably comes in at minus 135.
Wow. So I'm actually on the other side of that Montreal game, but I definitely love Lightning to score at least 2 goals there. I think that's excellent value.
Cool. Yeah, like I said, I think both of those teams are in line to put up some goals. So
I
and
can't
that's
believe you got this play. That is an unbelievable value play.
Yeah, I thought so too. As soon as I saw the price, I couldn't bet submit fast enough. So before the before the odds change, I wanted to make sure I got it in. So yeah, that's not boosted or anything. It's just a regular value. Shop around. You guys already know I use DK predominantly, but shop around. You might be able to find a better price. But yeah, that's gonna be my only play on the ice though.
Best price is on DK minus 134 right now. Just played it. I will say our main man Squishy is on the Montreal. I think it's plus 110 right now. Gonna find out exactly where in just a minute. But he likes Montreal over the Lightning. My model loves this play as well. It's plus 105 in multiple places in ESPN, plus 102 on DK, plus 102 on FanDuel. But I also happen to like this side a lot. I think the Lightning have been mostly fraudulent over the final stretch of the season, and they have a lot of negative regression coming. Their underlying metrics do not support them continuing to play the way that they have. Montreal should be able to control the puck, and going into Montreal, I think that they should be the favorite here. I don't understand what the books are doing. I guess it's just the public overvaluing the more famous team once again.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. I think that's exactly what it is. So, but before we move into our next sport, do you mind if I go ahead and run through soccer here real quick? I do have some soccer plays, and then we can finish on NBA, and all 3 of us can give our thoughts on that. Is that okay with you?
Let's boogie.
All right, man, let's do it. All right, so we do have some action today and this weekend in soccer. I've got a few plays here for you guys. So just one play today. We're looking at the EPL. English Premier League is in action this afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff, where we do have Sunderland taking on Nottingham Forest. We're looking at the table here. Sunderland with the relatively outside chance here of getting into European competitions. They would need some things to fall in their way in terms of other results. But they are within striking distance of potentially making a Europa League or Conference League position here. Meanwhile, Nottingham Forest, they're still battling relegation, but I think a few more points for them and they should be safe. However, in this one, when we're looking at the head-to-head, under 2.5 has hit in 4 straight. So typically when these two sides match up, you don't see a lot of goals. I'm kind of expecting the same thing again today. So I'm going to play the under 2.5 goals here. You're going to get that at minus 120. I know that price has since gone up. So you might have to parlay it with a couple things to get the minus 120. What I chose to do, because I played it again after the price went up. One thing that I do, guys, just kind of going off a tangent here, is I'll look at boxers. Usually you get boxing matches over the weekend. And anyone that's like favored minus 3,000 or higher, minus 3,000, minus 4,000, minus 5,000, etc. I'll add those as just a parlay leg just to get the juice down a little bit because those boxers have about I would say a 98 to 99% win rate. They never lose unless there's some kind of a freak injury. So it's kind of a low risk way to boost your odds, I would say. So that's something you guys might be interested in doing is just taking a look at the boxing slate and just picking the boxers that are heavily favored. Like I said, for me, my personal rule is minus 3,000 or higher. But anyway, that's how I got Sunderland Forest down to minus 120. And then we'll go over to the weekend slate here in the MLS. We have MLS action again on Saturday. A few games I'm looking at here. First one is the New York Red Bull taking on FC Cincinnati. This one's a 7:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff tomorrow night, Saturday night. I love this value we're getting here with the New York Red Bull team total over 1.5 goals at -105. Cincinnati, one of the worst defenses in the entire MLS. They have just been leaking in goals left and right. I can't see how they're going to be able to hold Red Bull, who is a very offensive minded team, under 2 goals here. I think getting them with 2 goals at almost plus money is almost a steal. I had to double check it to make sure I was looking at the right game, because I couldn't believe that we are getting that price. And we're looking at Cincinnati. They've allowed 2+ in, what is it, like 6 of their last 7. So this is just a very, very, very suspect Cincinnati defense. Love the Red Bulls here. Team total over 1.5. If you want to play the game total over, I don't hate it. But right now it's sitting at 3.5. I personally don't feel comfortable playing anything pre-match over 3. So whenever that happens, I try to look at team totals instead. So that's why I landed on the Red Bull here, over 1.5. But again, if you feel comfortable playing the game total, you can always take the game total over 3.5 as well. Next up, another game I'm looking at here in the MLS. Another 7:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff on Saturday. We're looking at DC United hosting Orlando City. Again, really confused why we're getting such a great price on this. Orlando City team total over 1.5 at +177. Orlando, they've been better defensively, but they're a very offensive team here. They just put up 4 goals over the midweek against Charlotte. Meanwhile, DC United, they just gave up 4 goals in that 4-4 thriller against the Red Bulls on Wednesday. So you got a bad defense at DC United. You have a front-footed offensive side in Orlando City. 2 goals at plus money against probably maybe a bottom 3 team in the entire MLS in DC United, in my opinion. I love this play a lot. Might be one of my favorite plays of the MLS slate. Give me Orlando City team total over 1.5 goals at +177. And then another match here in the MLS. We're looking at the Philadelphia Union, Stern's home team here, taking on the Columbus Crew. I don't get why the Crew are favored here. The Crew should not be favored in any game right now, in my opinion. They haven't shown anything to deserve being a minus money favorite. And Philadelphia, they seem to have turned the corner here. They're undefeated in their last 3 matches. Give me Philadelphia here. Draw no bet at +205. That is incredible value here. I will fade Columbus. Columbus has not looked very convincing at all. Philadelphia, like I said, seemingly turning a corner here. Of course, they are the Supporters' Shield winners last year, finishing first place in the league. They did lose a lot of pieces, but this is still a proud team and a proud organization. And I think this is a great spot for them to kind of get a win here and turn their season around. So I will take the Union on push insurance against the draw plus money, +205. Absolutely love that play a lot. Next up here, guys, just a couple more plays on the pitch. Looking at the EPL, we have another EPL match taking place on Saturday. Again, this one, the biggest game of them all, and I say that jokingly, but to a lot of people it is. Wolves taking on Tottenham. It's definitely got the biggest storylines. Of course, Tottenham in relegation battle right now, which would be one of the biggest stories in all the sports world, if Tottenham were to get relegated. I can't back Tottenham. How can you? They haven't won a single game yet in 2026. So give me the Wolves here on a double chance at +110. On paper, the Tottenham should demolish this team. But again, Tottenham winless in the entire calendar year of 2026. I'll take the Wolves. The Wolves are going to be up for this one. This is their Super Bowl, right? This is they know what's going on. They know all the stories that's going on surrounding Tottenham, and this is going to be a great opportunity for a terrible season for the Wolves to maybe end it on a positive note here as we get down towards the stretch of the Premier League here. So give me the Wolves at home to avoid a defeat. I'll take them on a double chance at plus money against a team that has not won a single match in 2026. Wolves double chance +110.
Yikes.
The final, yeah. And finally for me, sorry, I'm just going to rip through these motions. Then if you got any thoughts, opinions, whatever, you can hit me with it. I'm going to go on here. I got one more, guys. We're looking at the England National League. Again, this is Saturday. Guys, there's only one match that matters in this entire league. Everyone's playing at the same time. It's the final match day of the league, 7:30 a.m. Eastern kickoff. So you're going to have to set your alarms for these ones if you're going to want to watch this. One game matters, and it's the most important game probably of both of these teams. I don't want to say their history, but definitely the season. Rochdale taking on York City. The winner gets promoted to England League 2, which is the official professional leagues. England National League is technically considered a semi-pro league, but there's a lot of professionals playing in that league, so I don't really think it is. But in any case, The winner gets promoted. The loser is going to have to get promoted through a playoff system, which playoffs are very 50-50, so no guarantees there. So Rochdale, York City playing for it all here. Promotion, which of course promotion to any league includes a major merit increase, a lot of financial benefits, and just a lot of competition, of course, as well. So big, massive game here. I'm going to take the first half under one. That plus 100. I think both sides come out in this one very cagey, not wanting to really give in to the other team with so much at stake in this one. I think you might see a slow first half. And then I'm also going to take York City on a draw no bet at minus 120 for the full game. They're undefeated in 4 of their last 5 against Rochdale. So I'll take York City here to avoid a defeat. A draw, I believe, would benefit York City. I think York City would still go through and get promoted with a draw. The only way Rochdale can get through is with a win. So at some point, they're probably going to have to push for goals. So if you don't see goals, I would expect to see a goal late, right? Because Rochdale has no choice but to win this match in order to get promoted. York will get promoted with a win or a draw. So just another way to look at that live. But for me, guys, 2 plays for this one. Rochdale, York City, first half under 1 plus 100. And then York City, draw no bet, minus 120. Mosh, let me catch my breath. You got any thoughts?
Yeah, I can't believe we're betting on the Wolves again.
I know, right?
like you were like ready to bet on them. You were ready to fade them for multiple times, and then they somehow snuck away with ties or wins to ruin a few plays like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, whenever that was. And then you went the other way. You started backing them, and then they started not doing well. I don't understand this team. I cannot figure this team out.
So to be fair, right, they've only won 3 games this entire Premier League season, okay? So they're winless in 30 of their 33 matches. So we backed them when they had won. I think they won like a couple games in like a 2-week span. So we thought, maybe they were turning a corner, but nope, not at all. They're still really bad. But the problem is Tottenham just have no confidence right now. And that's the thing, guys. Sports, and I'm not going to go on a tangent because I went on long enough, but sports, in my opinion, is 50% physical, 50% mental, right? And if you're mentally checked out, if you're mentally just defeated, and it's going to affect your play. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you lack confidence, it's going to show on the field. And I think that's exactly what's happening with Tottenham, because there's no way that a team with this much talent, one, should be in relegation zone, and 2, should be winless in a 3-month span. So I can't back Tottenham. I mean, until they win a game, you just can't back them. Not against anybody. Even the lowly Wolves, who've only won 3 games. I'll support them, but yeah, plug your nose.
Like the 76ers coming up. Is there anything else in the worldwide of soccer before we head to the NBA playoffs?
No, I'm pretty sure I covered what I needed to cover here.
Awesome. All right, yeah, let's get into playoffs. I'm gonna give you about 15 seconds and I'm gonna pass it right back to you, Prince.
Okay.
Just a heads up, we have Boston, Philadelphia, LA, Houston, San Antonio, Portland tonight. And these games are fascinating. I'm really interested to see what San Antonio can do without their big man. And LA, do we really trust them going on the road? Probably not. I'm going to assume Prince is going to be fading them. And then Boston, Philadelphia. I'm not happy with my model, but we'll get to that in just a second. All right, Prince, you're up.
Yeah, so first off, I'll go with the 2 games that I'm going to avoid, and I'll tell you the reasons why. So San Antonio, Portland, right? I just think without Wemby, there's just too much variance for me. With the Spurs, I don't know what to expect from them. I haven't seen it enough, especially in the playoff setting. And so the Portland's a tough team to beat at home. I don't really know which way to go on that. I'm very non-committal, to be honest with you. I probably have to see it live, kind of see how they're playing, what their setup looks like, and get a better feel for it before I place any kind of wagers on that one. I just think there's just too much variance, too many variables, I should say, in that matchup right now until Wemby comes back. And Wemby might miss consecutive games. If you're dealing with a concussion, it's always a risky thing to come back from, and usually it takes some time. You don't want to risk anything neurological when it has to do with your head. So, that was probably a stay away series for me now until I kind of get a better feel for it. In terms of the Rockets and Lakers, my God, what is going on with the Rockets? I don't know what to do with them either. Austin Reeves supposedly is questionable to come back tonight, by the way. I don't think he's going to. I think that's just kind of the Lakers just kind of throwing that out there to throw a wrench in maybe the Rockets' defensive plans or something. I don't expect him to come back, but he is questionable, so there is a chance. But in any case, he's probably going to come back soon. But whether he comes back tonight or not, I don't know what to do with this. 8.5 for the Rockets. They haven't shown me anything to make me feel comfortable laying 8.5 points with them. So I get it. It's a must win. That you can't go down 0-3, right? Statistically, you don't come back from an 0-3 series to win it. So maybe the books are figuring that in and saying, Houston at home in a must win situation should dominate the Lakers. There's nothing to show me that should happen. So KD or not, I don't know what to do with this game. Again, it's another one I'm gonna have to see how it goes live. I do like to fade the Lakers. You guys already know that, especially without Luka and Austin Reeves. But I also like to fade the Rockets. So this one's a tough one for me. I'm gonna stay away from that one. But the one I am gonna attack is Celtics Sixers. Me and Moshe talked about this last night. I am actually on the Celtics here tonight, -7.5. I think the Celtics get back on the right track here. The reason for that being is mostly because of the 3-point shot variance. You're looking at the Boston Celtics. They have the seventh highest 3-point percentage on the road in the league this season. Meanwhile, Philadelphia at home, they allow the seventh highest 3-point field goal percentage to opponents. So I think with the variance and volume of shots, 3-point shots that Boston takes, if you figure that in, you accompany that with the percentages, both good and bad for Boston's offense and Philly's defense. If you're going to see a lot of 3-point shots and you shoot a high percentage and your opponent allows a high percentage, I think you're likely to see a lot of 3-pointers go in. So I don't think Philly's going to be able to keep up with Boston offensively. Of course, that anything can happen. It's the playoffs. If EJ Edgecombe could turn up again, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, you got some guys over there on Philly, but I question if they're going to be able to keep up. So two ways you could look at this. You could say Boston team total. I haven't looked at the team total yet. That's one way that you could look at it. But for me, I'm just going to take the Celtics on the spread here, -7.5.
Yeah, my model was on the other side, and I usually do my research and I like the play and I go through all the motions and get comfortable with it enough where I'm like, all right, I'm going to play it, but I couldn't get comfortable with it. And I asked Prince last night, I'm like, hey man, I don't like my model right now. I don't really want to play it. So I did play a half a unit on the +7.5. Couldn't help myself. I got to play every single model play. The one that I am going to play though is the under 215.5 at -110. I think that offers a lot more value, especially if you think that Philadelphia is going to keep it close. I don't know if it's going to be outscoring Boston. It's going to be Boston not hitting 3 after 3. That's really what it's got to come down to. So that's the play, not an official play really. It's just a model play, but that's the one that I'm going to be leaning into.
So I just have one question. I'm just curious what your thoughts are on it. Does the fact that Boston shoots the seventh highest 3-point percentage worry you? And Philadelphia comes into this one 23rd defensively in allowing 3-point percentage. Does that worry you at all in the total?
It sure does. But again, we have model plays for a reason. I don't necessarily always understand it or like it, but it served me well so far. So I think that the thought must be that if Philadelphia is going to have a chance, it's going to be trying to lock down those threes. That's probably a point that they're game planning about for going into this third main.
Okay, sounds good. Fair enough.
Got it. Yeah. Anyway, Drew, do you got any thoughts on NBA playoffs today?
Yeah, I actually do have a pick. I have a player prop that I like a lot. I'll pair in Sengun over 14.5 rebounds and assists at -120. He has averaged, I looking at stuff, 19 rebound opportunities and 12 assist opportunities the first 2 games. When KD came back the first time around, came back the second game, he had 11 rebounds and 5 assists. The first game, he had 8 rebounds and 6 assists. I think this is really good value for somebody who they look to be really the facilitator. And I think with Kevin Durant there, he's going to get more opportunities for assists as well. I know Kevin Durant's an ISO player, but we've seen him take a lot more catch and shoot recently. So I really like Sengun here. I think he can definitely out rebound, in my opinion, DeAndre Ayton, because as we've seen that as well too. And I just think he's going to have to be the vocal point to be the assist guy and the main point guard in this offense from like kind of like a Jokic role too, because they don't really have much facilitators on there.
I can dig it. So sorry, what's the play one more time?
Sengun over 14.5 rebounds and assists.
I like it. All right, playing it now, looking for the line. Yeah. Prince, how do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I love that a lot. Anytime I can fade the Tin Man, aka DeAndre Ayton, because he has no heart, I will do it.
I
So,
do love it for that reason.
yes, absolutely. Yeah. Shingun is that should be able to dominate him on the board. So he should be able to dominate
Hey,
him.
all we need is 10 rebounds and 4 assists, and it hits.
Yeah. No, that's a really low number. I'm definitely playing that right now as we speak.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that we want to get to? I know that we're at the end of the hour, but I would be
Yeah.
okay spending a little bit of extra time talking about that NFL draft last night.
Yes, for sure.
Drew, what were your initial thoughts?
Oh yeah, definitely. First, I'll talk about my team. I'm really happy with what we did. Of course, I wanted TJ Parker, but I am glad that we ended up trading. We basically get to the 33rd pick. We ended up getting swapping a 5 for a 3 and getting a 5th round pick. Reason we probably swapped a 5 for a 3 is we didn't have a 3rd round pick, and obviously the person we wanted was either already off the board, probably at like 20, which was I think was KC Concepcion, or we didn't see much value from like 27 to 32. And I think another reason the Niners did it was because we avoid the 5th-year option for the first round talent we wanted. And also, having the 33rd overall pick is one of the most valuable picks to have, because that's where the 5th-year option stops. 5th-year options can be valuable if you want to hold on to a player, but it can also cost a lot of money as well. So I think the Niners can probably get a haul again, because everybody wants the first pick in the first round because they reevaluate the talent. Their adrenaline is gone, their rush is gone. They're like, oh, we missed this player. But besides my team, I would say the most interesting thing to me was how the Giants drafted. The Giants got Arvell Reese, who's an amazing talent, don't get me wrong, but now they have like 4 edge rushers, and they said they aren't planning on they aren't planning on trading Kayvon Thibodeau. I'm always for it. You can never have too much D-line depth, but the problem is it's a difference between having 4 edge rushers and 4 starting edge rushers that all want playing time, because you have to start Brian Burns because it's a big contract. You drafted Abdul Carter last year, and you have Kayvon Thibodeau, who drafted the year before, and now you have Arvell Reese, who is a pass rushing like linebacker. He can play coverage as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. And they got an O lineman at 10. I think it was a mistake by them to pass up on Caleb Downs. Personally, I think they need a safety help, and Caleb Downs is probably the best safety in the draft, one of the best defensive players. The Cardinals, I know I mentioned it before. Draft, I was like, Cardinals are probably going to draft Jamari Love. Mentioned a week ago in here, and they did. But I think the Jets won the draft with who they drafted. I love they got David Bailey, and I believe they also got Sadiq, and I forgot the other guy they got. So I'm very interested to see this second round.
Yeah, I gotta say, as a Giants fan, I'm happy with what they did in the draft. I don't disagree that they didn't fill that whole safety, but they got the best talent available on the board at the time that they drafted, and that's never a bad way to go. I think that they'll probably move him to linebacker or something, but having the talent on the field is probably the number one priority. Figuring out who's going to play what and how much time is probably a secondary concern. I'm excited because teams are going to be able to play New York, and they're going to have to get the ball out quickly, and that's always pretty decent recipe for success when you're playing bruising type of football that the Giants like to play. Hopefully, and we've seen horrible teams in the past. They are bruisers, they'll you'll come out of the game maybe with a win, but you're going to be hurt and limping at the end of it. So I don't mind this play at all. Prince, what were your thoughts on the draft?
Yeah, so first of all, to talk about your Giants, I really like what they did too. I think these 2 draft picks have John Harbaugh's signature written all over it, right? You're building from the line and you're building on the defensive side, which is something that's been a staple of Baltimore Ravens offense over the years. So I like the fact that they got an offensive lineman and a linebacker, two studs that should definitely have an immediate impact, I would say, for the Giants. And then my Bears, maybe we got the steal of the draft. I don't know. A lot of people are saying that Dylan Tiedemann, this guy is an absolute physical
He's
beast. He can
amazing.
do everything. He is amazing. The fact that he dropped all the way down to 25 is shocking to me.
You know why?
You look at the why is that? Well,
Yeah, you know why.
yeah. Okay, I know why. Yeah, yeah. You're exactly right. That is the reason why. We don't need to say it, but we already know what it is. But it's amazing what he can do. You look at the highlights. You look at his highlight film. You look at his attributes, his physical traits. This guy has the capability of being an All-Pro safety for many, many years to come. So I think the Bears knocked it out of the park with this one once again. Another great pick here from. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the guy. Ryan Poles. Just a great pick here. I'm really excited. It's exactly what we needed was defensive help. So interested to see what happens here throughout the rest of the draft. And then one more pick that I know a lot of people have some controversy around is Jeremiah Love to the Cardinals. Moshe, I kind of am with you, and I'm interested to see what you think about this, but my personal opinion, I think when you're as bad as the Cardinals are, right? Like they don't have any marquee players in any of the skill positions, maybe outside of Trey McBride, who's a stud at tight end. And Marvin Harrison, who I think the book is still out on him. I don't think he's quite lived up to the hype, but there's still potential for him. Other than those two guys, they have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. I think the Cardinals are going to be the worst team in the NFL this season. I hate to say that as someone who grew up in Arizona and I'm a pseudo Cardinals fan, but in any case, in my opinion, I think when you have, and I'll use an analogy, when you have a chance to draft Barry Sanders, right? You draft it and you figure out the rest later. I'm not saying Jeremiah Love is Barry Sanders, but Jeremiah Love could potentially be an elite generational running back for years to come. And so, in my opinion, I don't hate it. I understand that maybe they have some running back depth already, and they need a lot of other positions. But again, you're drafting the best player available. You're drafting a guy that has generational talent that can do everything at the position, and it's a very important position. I don't hate it. What are your thoughts on it?
I've got to say, I don't know if it was the right plan for them.
Because I think I'm on an island on this one. I think I'm on my own. I think most people are against it. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just I look at the Giants and Saquon Barkley. They basically did the same thing, right? They were like, well, we suck, but we're going to take the best talent there is. And they had an incredible running back, but it didn't help them win. And the Cardinals don't have anything on the line, literally the lines, that will help them be able to keep their quarterback upright or to stop opposing offenses. I really am not so sure if they're able to kind of fill a lot of those needs in the draft magically or through trades, which they don't really have that many things to trade. I think they're just putting too much stock into top offensive talent that's maybe exciting, but it's not going to really help them win if they can't keep the game flow going, right? They just you're losing by 15 to 20 every single game. How are you? What does it matter if you have a good running back?
So two parts. I'll respond to that. One, couldn't you build the rest of your positions in the rest of the draft? Right. I mean, they still have more picks, and through free agency as well. So I mean, you have a chance to draft a generational talent. We're not just talking about a guy that's pretty good, that's a high prospect. I mean, this guy has everything it takes to be an absolute stud for years to come. Yeah, I do kind of make a comparison to him and Saquon Barkley. I think it's a really great comparison. That's kind of how I look at it. I mean, if you're gonna suck, you might as well get somebody who you could potentially build around. Is my opinion. And then I guess to play devil's advocate to you, you like Avril Reese being drafted for the Giants at number 5 because he was the best player available. So what's the difference with the Cardinals drafting Jordan?
Defense.
Jeremiah Love.
Defense. That's it. Defense. Also, you really only have about a 67% rate of a top talent in the draft actually making it to be a top talent in the NFL. It's not like just because, I mean, you're right. It's a big bet that could pay off but it's a big bet, and it comes with a lot of risk, I think. If he doesn't become one of the top 3 or 5 players in the NFL in just a year or two, it's going to be considered a bust, no?
But if he does, then what?
Yeah, look, it's a big bet. It could pay off. It could pay off. But it's very risky to bet the future, or what I would consider the future of your immediate franchise that you're in a clearly rebuilding stage in, to really bet big on maybe getting a once in a lifetime generational talent. Now, if it works out, it'll work out and they'll look really smart. But I think the risk profile would be probably too much for most of the other teams out there.
Can I say a quick take, kind of unbiased betting for the Giants and Cardinals side? For the Giants side, in my personal opinion, actually, I'll say both. First, I'll say this: Cardinals should have gotten Arvil Reese, and the Giants should have gotten Sonny Styles, based on what they want to do. The reason why I was mentioning Arvil Reese is a great talent, but there's egos in the Giants locker room and stuff, and I don't think Kayvon Thibodeau wants to go to the 3 technique. I think if you're getting Arvil Reese, you can probably get great value to trade Thibodeau, but when it comes to Jemiah Love, in that case, it's kind of like not just like the Saquon thing at the end of the day. Usually, when you get Jemiah, like a running back, there's a reason people don't draft running backs in like the top 5. Jemiah Love is a top running back, but you don't have great offensive linemen to kind of support him. Yes, he can do very well in that, but we saw it with Saquon. Actually, the Giants had a much better team than the Cardinals had when they got Saquon. But the problem was at the end of the day, when they did that, is their defense was really bad and they were struggling. So that's where I think you need to get an edge rusher to basically, usually when you rebuild completely, you get an edge rusher to solidify your defense, right? We've seen it around the draft. I'll give you my Niners example. Niners had the number 2 overall pick because they were awful. Their biggest issue was edge, and they got Nick Bosa, and they ended up going to the Super Bowl the next year. I'm not saying the Cardinals would, but their biggest issue was edge and some of the part of the D line, and it like solidified it. Like we kind of saw it. We've seen it like with Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson made a big difference for the Lions, and stuff like that. So that's my take on both of them. I would say the Giants getting off Reese is great, but I think they should trade one of their edge rushers so they can get more value and stuff. But I think Sonny Styles would have been probably a better fit because he's a natural middle linebacker, not a pass rushing one. So that's my take.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it makes sense. Look, we're all projecting, right? So,
Oh yeah, I may be wrong.
Yeah, who knows, right?
They could make him a Micah Parsons, Arvil Reese like a Micah Parsons, and make him play middle linebacker and stuff like that.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Yep. So, yeah, just an interesting thought to have. Like I said, just for me, if you have a chance to draft Saquon Barkley, you draft him. But hey,
oh yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I think the Cardinals have so many holes. I mean, I'm a pseudo Cardinals fan, so I'm a little bit invested in them.
Box office move.
Yeah, I think if anything, he'll put butts in his seats, right? So we'll
So,
see.
Oh, you definitely will.
One thing to your point here is, I think if I remember, and I'm not looking at any specific stats, but they are primarily a run first team. And even with really bad running backs, they've been able to do pretty solidly. Once in a while, not every game, probably about half the games where they face a team that doesn't have a lot of rushing defense, they do tend to run out the game pretty effectively. Having a high profile running back in that scheme would probably just exasperate the situation for the opponents in those type of game scripts, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, they did change their coach, by the way. So the head coach from last year, he's no longer. Is the old Eagles offensive line coach, I believe he was. So they got Mike LaFleur now, who's the head coach of the Cardinals. But I expect them to still probably be a run first team, even so.
Well, you guys know who you're probably going to get quarterback wise in the draft, and I would be excited because with Jemiah Love, probably Carson Beck. I think he would work great with you because you guys can't stick with Jacoby, of course, but I think it would be pretty crazy. You guys go into the this season with Carson Beck and Love, 2 rookies, just have them figure it out and be exciting and not expect to win now. But I think that if you draft a running back that high, I think the best thing to do is get a rookie quarterback. in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah.
Because to your point, yeah, they cannot go forward with Jacoby Brissett. Obviously, Gardner Minshew's not the answer as well, clearly. So he's a backup quarterback right now. Yeah, Cardinals definitely should draft a quarterback. And hey, draft a wide receiver and just turn into the Cincinnati Bengals, right? Just try to outscore everyone. Maybe the games will be fun at least. I don't know.
Well, I gotta say though, one thing that I just heard that I'm not necessarily so on board. I don't necessarily agree with getting a rookie quarterback on a subpar team to be playing every day
Well, no, I would
as a
say.
starter.
Well, I would say if you get him, you probably sit him behind Jacoby for maybe half the season.
That's fair. Jacoby is
You
a really
know,
solid veteran
he's a veteran.
presence there.
Yeah, he can manage the
He
ship for a
balled
little
out
bit.
last
He
year.
really did.
He balled.
Actually, he actually went under the radar. In my opinion, I thought he had a better than average season, and a lot of people weren't really
Oh
talking
yeah.
about it because it's the Cardinals, right? Nobody talks about the Cardinals. But he was absolutely balling out. He was an improvement over Kyler Murray, which I think is an indictment on Kyler Murray.
Yes, it is.
The
Kyler
only
Murray had so much promise coming out.
Ugh.
yeah.
That duo was unbelievable. What was it, 3-4 years ago? It's just shame that it never went anywhere.
Shame. He was an MVP candidate. The one season they started like 9-1. He was an MVP candidate. Then he got hurt, and then the playoffs thing happened where he dropped in. Basically laid an egg in the playoffs. And ever since then, he just hasn't been the same. So we'll see. We'll see what he can do now. He's in our division. He's with the Vikings. So let's see what he can do with Minnesota. I'll be happy to go against him twice a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's interesting about that showed, and sorry, Drew, I'll just get to you in a second.
Oh, you're
Is
good.
the profile for what we look for in a QB changed after Kyler Murray. It
Mm.
changed before him. Kyler Murray was like the perfect, embodiment of, hey, maybe we don't need a 6'7" guy back there.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
yeah. Mhm.
with
Well,
him and
yeah, it was
Tua, and
Drew
they're just like,
Brees and Russell Wilson did that first, I believe.
Yeah.
fair. But I feel like him and Tua were like the two defining examples of why teams were like, oh, right, that's why we choose a 6'7" quarterback like Josh Allen who can get hit and take it.
Yeah, I think you are 100% spot on with that. They are the poster child for why you don't want to draft a short quarterback, no matter how mobile they are or not. In Tua's case, nothing beats physical traits.
I will say real quick is the first thing I'll say is that when it comes to like the rookie quarterback thing, the reason I don't mind it for subpar, of course, top 10 teams they'll have subpar teams start quarterbacks, but like you have a team in the Cardinals. No offense to Cardinals, that literally have no chance of probably the best division in football and stuff. So you might as well just try to see what rookie you got. Yeah, you can have him sit under Brissett for like 3 to 4 weeks or something like that. But you might as well do it while you guys aren't like, I guess competitive now. And then when you, the another thing I'm going to mention is when you mention how quarterbacks change the draft, they heard it. Sometimes they heard it. Like Josh Allen, like changed how you draft quarterbacks because they saw literally a very talented raw prospect quarterback who has all the tools and he struggled his first couple years and then he was able to get his mechanics completely fixed and stuff and he's one of the best quarterbacks in NFL. And then all of a sudden you see like Will Levis drafted, Anthony Richardson drafted, these other quarterbacks drafted think they can do the same thing. So it's interesting how quarterbacks being drafted, like these top guys, can also hurt teams because they get overeager because they think they want to find the next Josh Allen or the next Mahomes or something.
That's a
That's why
fan-
Zach Wilson was drafted,
yeah,
was because of Mahomes.
That's a fantastic point, and I think Mahomes falls into that category too. He had raw talent, right? That's why he didn't go,
Yep.
the top 5 pick or anything. People weren't sure about him because his mechanics were a little funky. But when you have good offensive coaching, a lot of times that can change things, and I think that's what both Allen and
And
Mahomes have
Alex
had.
Smith.
And now with the Cardinals, if they are to draft a quarterback, you have an offensive coordinator as a head coach. So I think that's more of a support of why you might want to draft a quarterback because there is an offensive coach in place already as a head coach who can probably teach him a thing or two, about playing quarterback in the NFL. So
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's interesting to see how people's philosophies and change, and especially with like the birth of analytics, it really helped people kind of be like, oh, maybe we can change what we think about each position and how we can shape and form. And I think we're starting to see a regression to back how it was before all these new analytics kind of came in.
Yep,
But anyway.
nothing beats a tall, sturdy, 6'7", 200 or 260-pound pocket quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Man, Ben Roethlisberger was the man back
There
in the
you
day.
go.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
Ben.
Big Ben. Oh, and lastly, I'll say one more thing. A great example for edge rusher wise that kind of changed the draft was Von. It was used to be you want like a 6'5", like 260-pound edge rusher, and then Von Miller came in like 6'3", like 230, 240, and they're like, and people were like, why did you draft him in the top 10? He was pretty small, and then he's one of the greatest edge rushers ever, and that kind of changed. And we see people like Arvil Reese, he's like 6'4", 240, and stuff like that. We see these more thinner edge rushers who are faster and they act for speed. So it's crazy how when you pick these players and how it evolves, and someone has to be the guinea pig and see if it works out for them.
Yeah, that's for sure. You have to have a leap of faith, but the fact of the matter is, when you're doing these type of changes, the success rate may be incredibly impressive, but it's also extremely small. How many of these people have come out in the league and not done anything? I would say probably the vast majority.
Yep, exactly.
Yep, agreed.
All right, let's get to our best bets.
Already? Are you sure?
Fun show today. I mean,
so soon?
We could talk about our favorite childhood baseball memory, but yeah, let's get to it.
I thought we were going to evaluate every
Jose
single pick for this round. I'm just kidding.
Jose Canseco. All right, go ahead.
Barry Bonds. The Art of the Deal. No, sorry.
Yes. That's Jose Canseco book or no? He wrote some books, didn't he?
Yeah. He wrote the book.
That's the one I was thinking of, but I think I mentioned the wrong one there. The one where he like blasted
everyone.
Everyone, right? He called out everyone.
Yeah. Oh, he blasted his own teammate Mark McGwire. Mark McGwire never talked to him after that. I was
watching a documentary on Mark McGwire, and that's why the name came out.
He made a lot of money off of that. He made a lot of money off of that.
If you get a chance, watch those old Simpsons episodes during that time period. They're hilarious.
Love the Simpsons.
Drew, let's
go ahead.
Favorite show all time. Anyway,
100%.
Drew, let's get to your best bets, and then I'll go, and then we'll have Prince close off the show.
Definitely. Michael Lorenzen under 15.5 outs for -135. Andrew Painter under 15.5 outs and -170. He's not going to paint today. Will Warren under 15.5 outs for -130. And then sprinkle Byron Buxton home run at +360, and the NBA pick Sengun over 14.5 RNA for -120.
Amazing. I have Happy Paul Skeens Day, Pirates Brewers, no run first inning, -140, still available. I have the Oilers Ducks over 5.5 and parlayed with the Ducks +2.5, -133. My home run sprinkle today is Kobe Mayo at +900. Prince?
Yep. In the EPL, give me Sunderland, Nottingham Forest under 2.5 goals at -120. MLS action taking place on Saturday. I'll take the New York Red Bulls team total over 1.5 at -105. Orlando City team total over 1.5 at +177. Philadelphia Union draw no bet at +205. In the EPL on Saturday, Wolves Tottenham. I will take Wolves on a double chance +110. Also on Saturday in the England National League, we have a matchup here for first place and automatic promotion. Rochdale, York City. I'll take the first half under 1 goal at +100. I will also take in that same game York City draw no bet at -120. In the NBA playoffs tonight, give me the Boston Celtics -7.5 at -108. On the diamond tonight in the ballparks, I will take the Yankees, Braves, and White Sox all team total over 2.5 at -103. We are going to sprinkle Munitaka Morikami +286 to go yard and hit a home run in this one. And then finally for me on the ice NHL playoffs, I will take the Ducks team total over 2.5 parlayed with the Tampa Bay Lightning team total over 1.5. That comes in at around -135. All right, guys, this has been a great show, great Friday episode here of the OnlyBets Sports Podcast with DrewDelucchi, SternBets. I am the Prince of Picks. We will be back Monday, same time, same place, 11:30 a.m. Monday to Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, that is. You can find us at OnlyBets Podcast on Twitter, X, Be sure to follow us over there. We will be happy to give you all of our plays, all of our great content as we usually do. And we're also looking for co-hosts as well and contributors. So if any of you out there like to give your sports bets, like to give sports angles, like to talk sports, join us again live Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. You can find us at at OnlyBets podcast. With that being said, SternBets, DrewDelucchi, I'm Prince of Picks. Have a great weekend. Enjoy all the sports activity. We will be back Monday. And until then, we will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.